And that's what we're gonna talk about today, right? Like, we're gonna combine Monday and today's. I did not release the article, but today's article, if you read the editorial calendar, it is talking about grief, right? So this is like a combination of the holidays as mirrors and just the grief that goes into holiday seasons, right? There's so much. I was listening to, I don't know if it was Bloomberg or Fox Financials, because I listen to them in the morning because I want to know what the hell's going on financially in this world. And it was like 62% of Americans would rather go into debt than disappoint their families. And that is so disheartening because it really just speaks to the consumerism that we have been forced into. And I say forced into because we don't have actual time, thanks to capitalism, to enjoy life, right? So, like, I, in my family group chat, I was like, don't buy my kids shit. I'm over it. I keep telling you guys this. Nobody listens. I need you guys not to buy them anything. I want them to have experiences or stocks. You got choices. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, this kid likes this. This one always wants to go horseback riding, or, um, a day trip to the jump park. Experiences, because that is why we are a world of consumers, is because we don't have time to um to actively enjoy life and experience things, right? All right, I'm gonna turn this around because I'm not okay. So, isn't this so cute? See, I'm building all the admin stuff. I'm really appreciating um the capability of AI in the helping of structures, because I have all of the content, and I promise you, I paid so much damn money on people doing this, and they can't do it. But anyway, here's all of the back ends, and I'm going to restart my liberation education focus group. I love that group because these guys all got like first dibs look at what we were doing. But when they deleted my account, that deleted the group too. But so you would come in, and everybody gets that's right. It's built like a community, and you would start the course. These things are being, I'm putting them in, right? So it's so cool. You see how I'm still structuring. It has all the yucky stuff. Shh, don't say anything. But then you'd mark, let's say mark is complete, lessons mark is complete. And the goal is to get it to be CEU compatible as well. Ba-da-bum. Let me see. See, I still don't even have like the navigation buttons because we've been working on this in the back end, and you'll get notifications, cool, like Facebook. Yeah, that's pretty much do. Let me see. Explore courses, and then you can go, and it's like, okay, see, you have access to one course at the free community level. That's not going to be my voice. I'm going to record my actual voice because I want it to be accessible and have speech to text. So you'll get to hear my lovely voice. But then these are all of the courses that I have taught over the years. And we're doing that, and we're adding these things, and they'll be available in the different route plans. View membership options, right? So you have your membership portal, and that's free. And in that free, I got to add a button there. In that free space, you will go again. I have no navigation button. So give me a second. But no, it's been busy. It's been busy. And I really deeply appreciate all of you. And like Facebook knocking me back. Thank you, Ingrid. You're awesome. You're awesome for paying me and trusting me to text me that your app is not working. So I appreciate you guys moving through with me, right? I'm a one-woman show with a lot of support. But like these end to end sort of things really have to be me, right? Like I've tried to hire developers. It does not work out because I'm always like, no, but it needs to be, no, but it has to be, oh, but can you add dyslexic font? And like because I have all of that in there, it's so cool. Let me see if I could show you that part. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, I can. Stand by. And then we'll get into it. I love that. I love hanging out with you guys. Oh shit, I did not do it. Wait, wrong one. Welcome to the comments. All right. I can do it from there. Welcome to the commons, right? Like, so it's this idea of like you're just hanging out, and there'll be groups, right? Here's the equity lounge, and it's like the idea is that it will stop us from doom scrolling, right? Like if you're in the community, you could just walk around and chill, talk about things like how I have the self homework in all of my articles. So it would be home, parenting for liberation, mutual aid board. So like when people have requests or needs, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Obviously, information and structural foundations for how to build your own mutual aid, self work, yada, yada, yada. And then the articles, the archive of which Lisa is doing so amazing with helping me archive all of my Substack articles will live there with lessons. Oh, this is the fun part. Isn't this cool? Check this out. Check this out. Look at you get to go through your access needs, right? Like what's your pronouns? What, neurodivergent friendly layouts, low sensory captions. I prefer audio over video reading, whatever that looks like. Isn't that cool? And so like pause all automated emails. Sometimes that's too damn stressful. Don't nobody want to be bothered by your sailing. There's going to be dark mode if you're dyslexic font, like really trying to make it accessible. Reduced motion, like so all the things are not going, and boom, large text. I'm super excited in case you could not tell. So yeah, this is what I've been working on and like Sosie. And then with the neurodivergent friendly text, it's literally, look at what I realized. It will take it, right? Because I have two audio HD kids. It will take my writing and literally take it and condense it so it's not so much information, it's overwhelming. I'm amazed. I'm amazed at what is available now, and I've always loved tech, so this is a fun time for me. So, anyway, good morning. This is what I've been doing. I hope you guys are excited. On top of that, like building other little I want everything to be a beautiful digital ecosystem that I own that I cannot be erased from. And I get to choose access level and accessibility level. And I find that to be an amazing win in this day and age. So, all right, let me open up my notes. Thank you for allowing me to catch up with you guys. Good morning, Dilemma. Hi, Ariana. All right, where are we at? Let me open up my Google Doc. No, get down, Binks. Look at them. They're so damn bad. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Can you see them? Do you see the two voids? Say hi, Moon. Hi, Binks. Aren't they precious? It's insane. It's like too many cats and kids. Okay. Are you ready? Where are we at? Okay, there we go. We are mixing together Monday and today, where we're talking about holidays and mirror and the grief that goes into the holidays. And then following this, um, the article and the replay will be available this afternoon. I'm making this one, obviously, it's not paid Wold, even though it's on Wednesday, because I was not here from Monday. My God, I hope you guys are taking whatever rest you can. We need it. We all need it. Okay, so our three talking points. The holidays are not the holidays, they're mirrors, right? Like really starting to recognize who we see in ourselves, who others reflect back to us. There's a bunch of information that can be had. Where are my boundaries being tested? Where are they leaking? Where are they lacking? What could I do that's better? How does this person activate me? This is an amazing time to turn around and really learn where you're at on your own healing journey. And to take control. Like, you know what? I don't wanna. I don't wanna. No is a complete sentence, right? If you don't want to do it, I suggest don't do it. I really am loving so many people have messaged me and I'm like, you know what? I've decided I'm not. I'm just gonna order some food in. I don't wanna be bothered. And I think that when you make those choices from a deeper care for oneself. It's not anger, right? I don't want you, I'm not going because da 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 da. No, because then you may feel bad later on, but having the ability to turn around and really sit within, like, these people are just not my people, or I just don't want to do it, right? Is there inequitable labor? All of these things going on. That's what I mean by the holidays get to be a mirror. What effort is being put in to a relationship between you and some of these people you're spending time with and feel obligated. Like, which one is happening right now? Feel obligated to do so. You don't have to. You don't have to, friend. Okay. Talking point two, grief didn't arrive with the season. It arrived because love did, right? So we have to realize sometimes we're not going to be with family for a lot of reasons, right? Like when I first started, I talked about this with Facebook. I'm devastated. I'm not getting any of my memories throughout the year and the years. And whilst I have most of those videos and pictures, I don't have the stories that go with it, right? Like I don't have the woke up today and, so here what so and so said, and I posted all of those things. So that is my grief during this holiday session season. There may be, family members that are not around, or the grief that, you don't want to be with your family anymore. That is grief too, right? But I want you to recognize the point of this one. Oh my God. Oh my God. No, no, no. Be gentle. Sorry. The point of that is that the season did not bring the grief, the love did. You're not going to grieve what you didn't really love, right? So it's sitting with that reality, right? Like, gosh, this is sad because I really loved that. I really loved doing that. I really loved being with that person. I really loved spending time with it. I really loved what the holidays meant to me as a child, what I thought they were, the grief of knowing the truth of colonization and how this is a celebration of the slaughter of the indigenous of the land. So much grief, right? And because that grief exists because we loved so much about the time, the space, the people, the energy, what have you. So keep that in mind. Three, media assigned us positions, but liberation lets us redesign them, right? So, like, we're conditioned to be certain people, right? Like, you bring the mac and cheese, I'm the mac and cheese maker. But I like that. But these designated roles of who we are supposed to be, right? And really learning who you get to be. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to be the peacekeeper in your family because you're not really keeping peace. That's the right to comfort. You're not. You're not keeping peace. You need to disrupt that. And if that means disrupting it in a way of you not participating, like, you know what? I'm going to disrupt this nonsense and I'm going to stay home and I'm going to have a hot cocoa and I'm going to watch black and white movies. That sounds amazing. I am cooking. I'm going to swing by my mother in law's. Um, for a little bit, but I really think I'm just gonna go back home. And then my homegirl Key is having some things, and she has like a family of 52. It's a beautiful gathering every time. She legit has, Jesus, yeah, she has 5 kids and like 9 grandkids. And everybody, she's always been the person where everybody goes. She even does a Christmas breakfast every year since I've known her, over 20 years now, or about right up 21. Um, And it's amazing. So you get to do what you want to do. You do not have to do these ascribed, prescribed roles. You get to choose your own. So we're going to get into that. I am trying to still keep your time because I respect that I totally um, was just chatting about my apps. Like, okay, so let's breathe in. The holidays are not the holiday, they're a mirror. The gathering isn't the thing, the reflection is the thing, right? So I'm giving you quick little reframes here. You're not overwhelmed. Okay, you're awake, right? Like that feeling of, oh, what am I going to say? What are they going to do? How are we going to do that? That's overwhelming you because you're aware, right? That is what awareness brings to you. They were never lying when they said ignorance was bliss. God, I love being ignorant. Now, when I look back, I'm like, those good times, good times. To not really truthfully understand the things that were happening and what was going on, truthfully, is a blissful place to be because you are completely and utterly unaware. And when you become aware, that is when all that builds, right? That tension, that frustration. And then that brings me to the other reframe is your tension isn't too much. It's a translation of information, right? Like it's telling you what's making me feel tense about being here or about not going or about family relationships and systems. And during this time, very specifically with the holiday day being tomorrow, you still have time You still have time. You still have time to say no, right? But you still have time to choose who you're gonna be when you get there, right? You still have time to work on your boundaries. Oh, I love that. Taylor says we have a small extended fam constellation. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? You could write yourself a script and be like, okay, this is what like that table talk app that bless Ingrid's heart is it has all that stuff. It's all digitized, right? Like here's your app, here's a soft boundary, here's a medium app boundary, here's a hard boundary, here's an app. You could even table map, right? Like here, so and so is gonna be here. I'm not gonna sit next to them, I'm not gonna be next to them. This is what activates me about them. But even if you don't have the app, here it is. Like these are get these things going in your mind, right? Get yourself a care plan. You need a care plan, right? To get through the holidays, whatever that looks like. Even if you are choosing you and you are staying home, get a care plan, right? So you're not sitting there being nostalgic, right? Back into that grief, missing what you used to love, right? You could be celebrating the fact that you chose you. Taylor said, and four people cooking for six. I love that. I love, send me a plate. Because I love to eat. The reflections that I offer here is you're being shown the emotional ledger that you can no longer ignore. Right? Holidays being a mirror lets us know how much you've been holding the whole year, this last week, your entire life. Right? But it is an emotional ledger of what roles you were intended to play, what roles other people have played, how people will not talk to you all goddamn year, but then want to talk to you. Don't talk to me today. Today's Thursday. Keep the same energy you had on Monday. You don't gotta talk to me today. All of those things kind of come up and play. So you get this emotional ledger that you have to it's so intense. Holiday seasons are and because they're so back to back and in the middle of this time with the economic collapse pretty much, but with the economy being so strained for those who are not wealthy, with the presidency where it is, with everyday people being so fractured, this time that we have always been told and taught is about togetherness and family and letting bygones be bygones. And all of that is a lie from the pit of hell. But because going into point two, because we love that and we saw that as an opportunity for connection, because there's so much lack of connection due to supremacy culture, there's a lot of grief there. Right. So give yourself that space to have that grief, to take account, right? Accounts and ledgers. Dr. Kim and I used to talk about that all the time. But with your emotions, what are you going through? What's coming up? What are you feeling into? Right. In my own case, like I said, I'm assuming by my mother-in-laws. I don't know if, their father's gonna be there. Praying Jesus. I don't hit him with my truck. Right? There's a balance of do we go out there if he is there? Like, why do you get the benefit of seeing children that you actively choose to ignore? Um, all of that, right? That's my own process. I'm going out there and I'm do my best to not hit him with my truck. But you have to go through those accounts, and I've made myself a backup plan, right? Like I have my food here. Those people, I love you, Mia. Yeah. Oh, my bad. I have astigmatism. Um, I've made my backup plan, right? Like I have some friends that are going to come over here later on. Right. So even if I do have to have that tension, like right back to that, like the tension is not you being too much, it is an actual translation of your emotions. So if there's some tension that I have to move through, who knows? It may be absolutely joyous. Who the hell knows? Maybe not show up. All of the things. But I've created a plan for myself and my children, right? To be aware, to let them know, to set their boundaries. You don't have to talk. D- Did he talk to you all year? You don't got to say a fucking word. Treat people the exact same way they treat you. He treats you like a stranger all year. After he's raised you your whole life, treat that motherfucker like a stranger when you see him and keep it pushing. No respectability politics this way, right? Then what does that feel like? What are you coming up to talk to them? There's just so many different ways to offer your self care, knowing that they can leave. If you want to leave, just tell me. And if one, like us coming up with a family agreement, if one wants to go, can we all agree to go? right? Unless the ones that wanna stay are comfortable staying without me there. Care. Take yourself Put yourself first, all right? So here's a reflection. You're being shown the emotional ledger that you can no longer ignore, right? You're being invited into boundaries your body has been begging for. The holiday is a stage, but the mirror gives you agency. In this, I offer you some reflection prompts too, right? What is this gathering showing me about the roles I no longer belong to? Where's my body tightening? And what am I preparing myself for instead of preparing myself from? What expectation do I need to let fall so the mirror becomes a guide instead of a wound? Like that? Go me. Me too. I swear to God, I write for myself, and then here you guys are loving me and supporting me. And I love that for us. Two, I said three, but two. Grief didn't arrive with the season, it arrived because love did, right? Grief is love revealing its shape. Love that. The whole poem. Anyway, grief is not an emotional excess, it's emotional evidence, right? It is, oh, it is saying, like I said, it is a witnessing that love existed here, right? That is the beautiful part of it. That is the joy of grief, right? That oh, wow. Like, even with myself with my Facebook, it is huge grief. Like I said, 17, and I live, like, you see how I am now? I live on my Facebook. I've often said Facebook is like my living room. It feels very much like my house. Those are the homies. They watch my kids grow up. Fuck, I walked through the entire passing of my mother on Facebook in 2009, right? Like, literally from the moment I got the call from the police telling me that, yeah, she died in a car crash. I was, like, in school. I can remember I was in the school and I posted. That was, like, my first response because that is how involved I am with that social media space, and, like, walk through it, and it's like all of my journey is gone of who I'm. It's like, fuck the work. The work will come back. The work I could pull from, my Substack, from my TikTok, from my Instagram, hell, from the thousands of Google Docs. I have 2 laptops full of work. It is literally my journey, my life that I am grieving, that I've shared, that I intended with hopes, and I was really not diligent enough about downloading. Good morning, sunshine. um, Sharing with my children so they would know a version of me that they did not know, that I've forgotten, because that is what growth often does. We forget who we are and where we've come from. But that is what grief brings up, right? So you get to go back through that, recognizing it's because I love this, right? I love those people I shared those moments with. I loved the stories. I love the friends. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking for my Facebook friends. It's very like looking for people after a disaster, right? Like trying to find all of your things and your friends in a village fire. That is what it feels like for me. So that deep grief just shows it's a reflection of the deep love that I had and curated there. And the same with your own families, right? Like, is it sad sometimes when you can't have that? Like I expressed about, my estranged husband, if he's gonna be there. Yeah, the grief is that we had 15 years together and 3 beautiful children, and you don't talk to any of us. And the grief is because there was such a great love, respect, and admiration there. And I would prefer that we could at least be friends, but since we can't, speed bumps, but sometimes unhealthy. All right. So the reframe there is you're not regressing, you're remembering with consciousness. Grief isn't pulling you away from love, it's showing you where love lived. Isn't that beautiful? If you're sad, it's because love lived there. So the reflections that I offer here is the ache resting in your body is not asking to be gone, it's asking to be acknowledged, right? Often in these family dynamics, we push into that either or, like, well, if they're not for me, they're against me. If they voted this way, they hate me. If was the fifth, we'd all be drunk. I don't know what else to tell you. There's a lot of different things, right? But the acknowledgement, leaning into that, like, damn, I'm feeling this. I really liked Uncle Joe. I fucking hate that it became this between us, right? I hate that he became older and lack of community forced him into a space, into echo chambers where nice. That's real, right? Real thing to acknowledge and to sit with. And I want you guys to do that, right? Good morning, Deirdre. Hi, Misty. Another reflection that I often hear is grief held with self becomes a form of devotion, not depletion, right? You get to like devote that time, that energy, that awareness to yourself, right? There's no deeper love that one can offer to anyone or anything than self love. And offering yourself space and time to collect, to honor, to live in your own truth is such a brave show of deep self care and love, right? Self care, again, not always bubble baths. Sometimes it's like rocking and crying, right? And acknowledging the pain, the grief, the life that you've lived, and just where it's different now. And that is okay. Grief held without narrative becomes a form of somatic truth. We often want to wrap things up, right? And like say the whys or what have you. Sometimes it just is. And you could just feel it. And when you could just feel it, it becomes that somatic truth. It becomes a lived, embodied truth. Like, oh, this is real. This is what I'm feeling. You don't need to give it a narrative like I gave you with Uncle Joe. Maybe Uncle Joe doesn't hate you, right? Maybe Uncle Joe got old and the only community Uncle Joe ever had was work, union buddies, and then you retire and friends start dying. And the only community that's offered inside of supremacy culture is church. And church is that first space and place of indoctrination. And now Uncle Joe hates everybody. But it's really because he wants community. And the only way he can have community is being in that because we don't have the time based on capitalism to actually love and care for our elders. And we no longer have multi generational homes. See? So maybe it's not personal. Maybe it's not personal. Maybe Uncle Joe doesn't feel like that, but it's the only way for him to have access to community and some type of care, even though it's not real community because forcing assimilation is not. But that is the only community Uncle Joe has, right? Remove the narrative that Uncle Joe hates you and just feel the grief. That is the example there for making it somatic truth. Okay. Okay. Reflection prompts. What love am I carrying in grief form that I've labeled incorrectly? Like what I just said, right? Who taught me that grief was inconvenient? Was it family? Was it society? Was it your church, your school, or just the media in and of itself, right? Like we're not allowed to grieve. Like I don't think that we get dramatic enough with it. I think that we should be able to like do so wherever. think I think it's a beautiful thing. I think grief is beautiful. What would shift in my body if I stopped treating grief like an interruption and started treating it like a language? Right? The same way that we welcome love and care, grief is another part of that. And grief work is deeply important in our decolonization journey, right? In our self liberation journey, because you're going to continuously lose parts of self, people, places, things. It's going to happen as you grow, as you shed, and as you continue to become. There will be parts that you will just have to grieve. I have to grieve the part of me that would hit you with the truck. There's a part of me that wouldn't have thought about that a couple years ago. And that would have been the goal. Right now, it's like, look at me. Look at me. I'm gonna grieve that crazy person. Like, okay, but 46, I got a bad back. I can't be in jail. Like, it's a lot of different things. So even like that, like, like I'm making light of it, but there are gonna be parts of you that just in your own evolution and your own becoming, you just won't be. Lisa says, seeing Black and Indigenous women wailing out their grief makes white people uncomfortable. It makes white people uncomfortable because white people are not allowed to feel grief. Like, right? Like, and I want y'all to realize that that is a very Americanized thing because white Jewish people have a whole wailing wall where they grieve in public. Like, put their prayers in the wall and just sit there and wail. That is a very white American construct. That is not a white body people thing. That's a white American Christian construct, to not grieve. So that is where that comes from. So they're confused more than they can't take it. They're confused, like, what's happening? Why are they doing this? What's happening? Keening. The Irish had keening. You'd pay people to go door to door and wail and grieve. It's a very white American Christian colonial concept to not grieve. Grief is a part of life. I don't know what other white body people do. I just had Jewish and Irish people in my family. So, but there you go. There could be your fun little thing to look up what ethnic white people did for grief. It was very public. It was very I mean, well, hell, the Victorians, they fucking wore black for like 2 years, but they're very, see, that's where it comes from. Is that very posh and very quiet and very modest. I think the women had to grieve for a year or two and had to make it obvious, but quiet, like suffer in silence.
The baby cat was in the freaking kitchen, right? And she was in the sink eating the black stuff.
She's eating the coffee out of this. I can't do it with these cats. I can't do it with these cats. The kittens are terrible. Good morning, Patty. So there are a lot of options for that. I know, it was nasty. Okay, can you please go wash your face? What's ew is you with all that gook on your face, trying to be go look in the mirror, honey, and see if you want to really make that choice. Okay. You could stay here, but I would advise you to. Took pics of posed that, right, like those sorts of things. But even that, it was demanded to be silent, right? Like you should be seen and not heard, sort of thing. There was no actual act. Keening is beautiful. And if I can remember, I've done an article about it. And actually, somebody reached out to me about that too and was like, have you ever heard of this? And I'm like, yeah. It was a beautiful practice, right? We should get back to that. Anyhow, where the hell was I? Okay, so yeah, what would shift in my body if I stopped treating grief like an interruption and started treating it like language? Because it is. Okay. 3, trying to wrap it up here for you guys. Oh, are we still good on time? Look at God. Won't he do it? All right, talking point 3. Media assigned us positions, but liberation lets us redesign them. Look in the mirror and then come back and cuddle. Girl, you know you don't want to be on the screen like that. Drink your drink. I got to deal with Shady now. No, all her sleep on her face. She said, I heard that. Lisa says, when I hear it, it grabs my heart and brings me nearer to them. And that's the intent. And honestly, that is exactly what I mean by feeling and honoring that grief. That grief is love. When we grieve, we are closer to the love that we had in that moment. And you can, though, Lisa. That is it. Like, put it on. Put it on. You know, sometimes I like to, I'll play the shofar. It's beautiful sound. It's resonant. It's an ancient sound. And I feel like I'm just like, I open up my windows, my doors, and I blast it like throughout all of the little different surveillance devices in my house by the name of Alexa. And I don't want to say anything because then it'll start activating. And just like clear the energy or drum beats and like that wailing is something that is so necessary. It is so embodied. So I highly recommend doing it. All right, talking point 3, media assigned us positions, liberation lets us redesign them. Media shapes family expectation and roles, but you get to revise the narrative now, right? We've already established all of that inside of supremacy culture. When you come into supremacy culture, that separation of self, community, and the land, right? And you get these roles. So cis, het, Christian, patriarchal, white manhood, said wealthy, able-bodied, all of those things, gave us these roles. Good job. And said, this is what you need to be. And this is what a woman does. This is what children do. This is what men do. This is what boys do, right? Giving us these binaries, no space for two-spirit, multi-gendered, all of the things that existed before a supremacy culture existed.
Thank you for giving me hearts. Excited.
So when you're getting these roles and you're doing this work of decolonization and liberation and finding yourself, you have to then start reconditioning the roles. Look, they love you when you're on here. Go Shady Baby. Go Shady Baby. Go Shady Baby. Go Shady Baby. Hey, go Shady Baby. Go Shady Baby. Go Shady Baby. Wait, God, I love you. Lisa says, good morning, Shady Baby.
Good morning.
All right. So the reframe here is you were conditioned, not confused. Don't scroll anything because then you'll miss out my whole thing going on. And that's not a touch screen. You were conditioned, not confused. Your family positions were scripted, not sacred. man. You didn't get to choose your role, right? You didn't get to turn around and say, "Oh, this person is like how we used to like, oh, this is the medicine woman. This is the person, this is the story keeper," right? Like our elders were something to be revered. They kept our stories. I said that on my Facebook. I was like, it feels like I lost an elder, right? The keeper of my story is just gone, right? So all of that, right? Like when my parents died, my dad died when I was 11. I've pretty much been alone most of my life. Kieran, I can't hear, honey. My maternal grandmother passed when I was 8. My dad passed when I was 11. My paternal grandmother passed when I was 14, and my mom passed when I was 30. All of my history is gone. So I intended on being the history keeper, the story keeper, and that was part of my Facebook, right? So that is the deeper level even of my because I you can't go back. When you lose that, you can't go back. You can't go back and ask those questions, right? And that is the difference of having a scripted family role and a sacred family role. Your elders are sacred. They are your story keepers. They know the things about you and your parents. That's juicy shit. Like, what? Tell me about my ma. So all of those things, right? Like that is the difference of a scripted role and a sacred role. And remember, they are scripted roles by narratives that you did not consent to, right? So unlearning a role doesn't mean unloving the people. It means unwriting the script, right? So if you are walking into the house and you are the bridge walker, you're the person that tries to balance both sides. That's a script that you were given, like, right? Like, as a kid, like, "Oh, well, I understand both people, both sides." It's like being a mixed kid. I'm a mixed kid. I'm all grown up now. I didn't have these issues in my family, but I watch a lot of the mixed kids online talk about these spaces, and those are usually like those bridge walkers, right? Where they're trying to find this balance between these 2 parts of their families that have not melded. What level of acceptance of racism will they tolerate? Like,
They put a heart.
they did put a heart.
I put that.
Huh? Okay, I will tap a heart over here too, sunshine. There we go. I can't keep tapping and talking and reading because of my brain. Um, you get to choose to not be that.
Number 3.
Yes, we are on number 3. You get to choose to not be that anymore. You do not have to do that. That is something that was given to you that you did not ask for. You get to choose something else, is what that is, right? So the reflection that I offer here is the media stories you consumed taught you who gets to speak, grieve, avoid, perform, or control. And your body is now reacting to the gap in between the inherited media myths, right? Because, Sam says all the hearts. Yeah, do the hearts. So I am choosing media because we had such a good time during September, during the Gilded Age. And the truth of the matter is, and I've shared this in my, America as a Business series. It's always selling, and it uses the media. It has never not used the media in one way or another. I see, baby. Whether it was postcards, whether it was, uh, heralds announcing something that was all media, right? Bam, 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 all hail the king, whatever. It did not matter. There's always been media for propaganda. And we have really got to see, it's not really cold. You could definitely wrap yourself in a blanket. We have got to see the lineage of who we are and how long we've been here as humans, right? We are not new every generation. So we come from a long line of that, but this iteration of it, very specifically our generations that we're living in right now with the accessibility of all the media in the world has been flooding in. And for quite some time before we were able to get an expansive knowledge from other humans and their experiences, we only got like 5 channels, guys. I grew up with 5 channels. I'm only 46. Like, you got 5 channels, and those shows came on, and those are the things that you learned. You learned how to be cute and how to be pretty and how to be a girl and how to be a man and how to show up and how to be a provider and all of those things because that was the intended message, right? Media sells. America is a business needs to always be selling, right? ABCs of marketing was always be closing, like always be closing. Journalists hold so much power. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so Girl, what is happening right here? So the body is not reacting to the gap between inherited media myth and embodied consciousness, right? Like I said, now we're in this look at people could be from anywhere. Lisa said I had 3 channels. Like, um, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And those shows, it's why like the Table Talk app, I loved All in the Family. I loved Archie Bunker. Like I did. I thought it was real TV. It gave birth to the Jeffersons. I love the conversations and I still rewatch it now. The conversations are prevalent now, right? And so that is what the Table Talk app is actually based on. It's based on our family archetypes, based on Archie Bunker and the Jeffersons. And my intent is to turn that into an entire pop culture series.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
Married with Children, Roseanne. Okay, thank you. Roseanne. I love Roseanne. But they want those sorts of images on TV because media did not want to see poor whites anywhere, right? Like, so that show, Married with Children, those things were not necessarily always allowed or liked, where you got like All in the Family. Um, Family Ties, I mean, you got Family Ties in the Wonder Years, and now you're selling that white picket fence, middle America, right, with the Wonder Years. Look at the 1950s trad wife and, all in, Family Ties. I loved Family Ties. Family Ties was, that upper echelon, middle class white America. It's all very interesting. So it's always been selling, and that's what it basically is. So my whole point of this reflection prompts is what media, what media fed family role shaped me the most? Like to ask yourself that. And what did it cost my body? Right? Dinna. The fourth was only if the outdoor antenna was catching signal. I remember I still have a TV antenna, so just in case my cable ever goes out and I can get my 3 funky little channels. I remember in New York, they had this thing called WHT, which was like the first cable, and I just thought I was so fancy when my family got that. I was like, "Look at us. We're big shots." No one even turn on the damn TV unless it's SVU. So the reflection prompts that I offer them.
So. Mm.
You don't want to eat? Go get a banana or something. Go get an apple.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh. Mm.
God, she's adorable. All right. So the reflection prompts here is to ask yourself, what media fed family roles shaped me the most? And what did it cost my body? Right. Like, because you get all of these ideas of who you're supposed to be. And this is why they say representation matters, right? I still love Roseanne because Roseanne is closer to my family than Family Ties was. Like, Roseanne is still closer to my family than Family Ties was. We weren't the Jeffersons either, right? Like, so, like, I loved that show. Still love that show. I love the reboot of that show, right? When they took Roseanne off and she died, and Dan was still there in the same house, and the financial struggles and all of that. I'm like That's representation that matters. It goes well deeper beyond just race. But when you've been not represented at all on TV, because I also remember the very first time I ever seen a family dynamic of mine, it was a Cheerios commercial. And I was a full ass adult before I seen a Black man. Please stop. Please stop.
Get them hot.
Okay, don't give any more hearts. Give that last one, but I don't want you to touch anything accidentally. Uh, a Black husband with a white wife and a little curly head beige kid. So that, representation matters in all of the different type of ways. But I want you to ask yourself that is like, what shaped you? Because queer people didn't exist on TV. Disabled people didn't exist on TV during those times. So what did you have to not be in order to fit in order to assimilate? Please don't open those because the tree is not up yet.
I want to get tiger.
No. Oh, okay. That's fine. Two, what belief did I absorb about cohesion, authority, or harmony that wasn't mine?
Got some Christmas decorations.
Mhm. Jesus. What narrative am I ready to release so the mirror becomes my teacher, not the television, right? And that goes all the way full circle back to the holidays are a mirror. Sam says, I have been enjoying rewatching some Carol Burnett and Mama's Family. Oh my God. I love those. Me and my grandma Sophie used to watch that all the time. No, Sam. I said Sam. Go over there so you don't lose them. Oh my God. Thank you for that core memory. Freaking unlock. I'm gonna go watch the Mama's Family. Oh God, that was so good. And Carol Burnett was so good. That was such that, right? That what looks like joy, elation, love, what you guys just saw was a grief, right? And that is what happens when grief is embodied. It is a grief of like, oh God, I miss my grandma. That was something that was so beautiful. It doesn't always have to be wailing and pain or sorrow. There is joy in grief too, in having that wonderful memory and then, oh, that sinking reality. That is also joy and grief together. All right. So as we round up, I can't believe I did that in such good time. Go me. I am a time. You know what? I'm a time weaver. So I slowed time down. Morgan is over there tying up. Why don't you and your brother go get the tree out of the shed?
Okay.
Yeah.
Where you gonna put it?
I'm gonna put it over here in the same corner we put it over here.
I'll put it in the corner. I think I like it.
There are no other corners in this house. Every single corner of this home. I really would like you to not be hollering, especially when I'm on my live. I would like you to go see if your brother would like to go get the tree. So usually we got a live tree, but there you go. Here goes another lesson. It was something that we did as a family activity. And I was just like physically ill at the idea of going to get a Christmas tree. And my husband was not there. And it'll be in January, it'll be 3 years. So I was like, ugh, I want to vomit. I went home for the first Christmas. So I didn't have to worry about putting up a Christmas tree.
What?
Go get the tree out of the shed. It's in the big red bag. Morgan's gonna help you. Put some shoes on. And so that first year I completely and utterly skipped it. I didn't have to. I was like, why are we gonna put up a tree? I don't like we're going home. I'm not putting up a tree here and we're not even gonna be here. We're gonna be at Kristen's house. Not doing that shit. So that gave me a way out of it. So just also to let you know that this process, please, please. I'm so angry right now because you not listening is wild work. Please go get some shoes on.
I do.
Okay, well then come up out of the camera. Thank you. Um,
He's letting outside.
yeah, but you were listening and you tend to take advantage and you want to see how far. And I don't appreciate you pushing my boundaries at all. And you're not going to be allowed to. What you can do is move away from me. And that's about that. Right. So you guys can go get the tree. Anyhow, so like there's stages of it, right? So like then by year 2, which was last year, I was posting on my Facebook talking about this story, and simultaneously in the Give Sell Swap group, some cool beans. Somebody, and that year, the first year, I was talking to my cousin, and I was like, you know what? I might as well just get a pre-lit tree. I don't think I ever kind of want to go back and do that right now. I'm just not in that space, and I don't want to deal with the work, the maintenance, right? Like, I don't want to be watering and shit. He did all of that, and I'm not doing that shit. Like, I just don't need more things to do while I'm now solo parenting. So we were looking at pre-lit trees, and I was like, cool, cool, cool. I was gonna get one, and then by the time the second year came along, and I was talking about it simultaneously, a friend's of mine, yes, posted in the group like, "Oh, hey, pre-lit tree free," and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I text their wife. But I actually married them. They were not married then yet, but they're now wife. And I was like, "Oh shit, Kels, tell Sander that I want the tree." And they brought it over here. They delivered it to me, and we're here at year 3. And now I've gotten to the point that my fucking Christmas tree is going up on Thanksgiving, like it used to. Allow yourself time. That's the whole point of that story. Please stop doing that. You look adorable. Why you got my sneakers on? Go get the damn tree. So, the whole point of that story is allow yourself the time that you need to grieve the way you need, to show up for yourself the way you need to show up for yourself. And eventually, you'll find your new normal and you'll find your joy in all of it, even the speed bumps. There you go. I'm gonna read these comments. Let me see. Mia says, I think Highway to Heaven was the only show with more intersections, and it was still white dudes saving them. Yeah, oh my god, yeah, my Aunt Deidre used to watch that, or, Touched by an Angel, right? Like, as we got further along, like, '80s as more '90s, Touched by an Angel was good, it was Della Reese, but, I mean, Black women saving us as an angel doesn't feel new. But yeah, no, I'm loving TV now. Like, I love that my kids could turn on a cartoon and it's queer as fuck, or there's an autistic kid, a nonverbal autistic kid. Like, I'm like, why the hell do we not all deserve if we're gonna be out here selling, right? Like, if we're gonna be out here, then don't you want everybody to exist? Makes me think of Seventh Heaven. Oh, look at you guys, suckers, sucker. I love that. I love that for us. And if you're home this holiday season, maybe do that. That can invite the joy of your grief, right? Watch some shows that are nostalgic and lovely. The other few weeks ago, I binged Charmed, right? Binged. I love Charmed. I love Charmed. I binged it completely. But then, it made me think back to my first marriage. I'd be running through them. Like, made me think to my first marriage, my adult child that doesn't talk to me, right? She's 29. Here comes those holidays. My sister that I raised, and she's 35 now, and where I was living. And you've lived an amazing life. You've lived an amazing life. And when you could really sit down and think about the span of your life, there is so much grief in that. And there's so much joy in that. And there's so much lived truth. And this holiday, allow that to be the mirror. Is that there's just so many versions of you, right? It's like a fun house of mirrors. Allow yourself to see who you truly are. That's my holiday message. And now I'm going to go help Ingrid and others who cannot get on the damn Table Talk app. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The kids they did it. It was intended to be almost like a Sisyphean task, but they did it. Did it. Hold on a second. Please ignore all of the stuff that we're doing for donation. Help him lift it. You lift from one bottom.
I can't get over there now. Bro, I can't do it.
You're gonna have to lift it. You're gonna have to lift it.
It's too heavy. Like, I can't.
Shady can help you lift it.
No, like, I can't at all.
Okay, I gotcha. Oh, my knees, Jesus. They did it!
Well, I did. Marnie didn't help anything. I pulled it out. I dragged it.
Oh, shit. You're not lying. It was heavy. Bruh, it had wheels on there, my guy. Dude, the wheels are there.
I don't.
All right. So now we're going to put up our tree.
Who, me?
Well, no, I got to fix this app for Ingrid. You see that? ADHD. I already forgot. Why would you do that, buddy? Did that seem like a good choice? So stop, because if you broke our tree, now what?
No more Christmas. No more Christmas tree.
You'll have to pay for a new one. Yeah, you will. Anyhow, Sue says I got on late and admittedly pushing an agenda, but this Carolyn Levitt family drama has all the pillars. Has my blood boiling. I'm gonna screenshot that so I can share it later on. I'm gonna jump off of here, go figure out what's going on, check in with Ingrid to see if they were able to log on, and if so, then we're gonna put up the tree, and I will send you guys a picture. All right, bye. Love you. Thank you for space and grace. Give yourself the same space and grace that you offer me. All right, bye.
Find my makeup.